Good afternoon, students. This is the second video of this poem. In the last video of this poem, The Road Not Taken by Robert Frost, we discussed about the first two stanzas of the poem, in which poet says that first of all he went to the forest and then uh, he was traveling or walking on the foot, and he faces the road which was diverged into the two roads. That's why he thinks about it, which road to take. And then first of all he says that the first road was just bend in the undergrowth, and he says that the second road also had a better claim because it was a grassy, that means was full of grass or covered with the grass, and it was not used by the many people itself, or it was not travel over. So later in this video we are going to discuss about remaining two stanzas of the poem. First of all, let us read the stanzas of the poem and discuss about the literal and deeper meaning of the poem. And both that morning equally lay in leaves, no step had a trodden black. Oh, I kept the first for another day, and knowing how way leads on to the way, I doubted if I should ever come back. I shall be telling this with a sigh. Somewhere ages and ages hence, the two roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less traveled by, and that has made all the difference. See, actually, the first line of the poem, and both that morning equally lay. That means, see, actually, both the roads were equal, and it was the time of morning when the writer or the poet went to the forest. In the next line, in leaves, no step had a trodden black. That means both the roads were covered with the leaves. That's why the poet could not see any step over it, or poet could not see the road as a black. See, in the next line, poet says, "Oh, I kept the first for another day." Here, the poet says that he took the another for another. He took the first for the another day. Here, it seems that poet is regretting by saying, "Oh, maybe he is justifying choice of his path, and maybe later on he will come back and will take the another, or will try the another later on." And this is the tendency of people also, or this is how the people deal with the difficult choices. They say they can take any path. If it is difficult, they can come back and they can try the another later on. But here the speaker feels strongly about his choice. In the next line, "Oh, knowing how a way leads on to way, I doubted if I should ever come back." See, actually, what happens? Speaker agrees that he has a hope in his mind that he should take the path first, and he will again come back and will try the other one. But it is not practical actually. He says how a way leads on to the way, and how a road can lead to the another and then to the another. Then one ends up with the start of the another, and this is why he doesn't think that he will be ever able to come back, because again if we come back there will be uh, two roads, and in any life decision we also justify our decision by thinking that we can always come back and we can take the different option later on. But it is not possible to retrace our steps and arrive back at the original decision. In the next line, I shall be telling this with a sigh, somewhere ages and ages hence. Here the speaker said that now let us jump forward in the time. But we cannot exactly say when. And he also knows that it will take ages and ages. He is not saying about the months, but he says that maybe about the years. And the speaker says that he will be telling about his decision later on after many years. He will be telling it with a sigh, though, which is interesting because sighs can be happy or sad or reflective, and we don't know what kind of sigh this is. So we know that this choice is going to be important for the speaker's future, but he doesn't know as of now if he is going to be happy about it or not. See the next line. Two roads diverge in a wood, and I took the one less traveled by. Here the speaker says that there were two roads. That means actually here it is the repetition of the first line, in which here the speaker has subtracted the yellow and added an I. And with this subtraction and addition, he come to the conclusion, and it reminds us what is important in the poem, and that is the concept of choosing between the two paths. And here the speaker says that the hesitation of I and the dash makes the end interesting, and lets us know that whatever the speaker is about to say next is important. See in the next line, I took the one less traveled by. Speaker actually says that he took the road which was less traveled by, and with this he sums up the story also with the hesitation in this line before. This declaration could be either trumpet or regretful. Also remember, it wasn't exactly clear that the road our speaker took was the one that was less traveled. He said at first that it looked less worn, but then that the two roads were actually about equal. See the next line, and that has made all the difference. Again, here speaker says that at first glance it seems that this line is a trumpet. The narrator took the path that one else did or one else has taken, and that is what has made the difference in his life, that made him successful. But he doesn't say that it made him successful. An optimistic reader would want to read the line positively, but it could be read either way. A difference could mean success or utter failure. Remember, the speaker is telling us about what he is going to say in the future, from where he is now. Just looking down the path as far as he can't tell the future. So we also can learn from this poem that even if there are two roads, but both the roads are important, equally important, but both of them are different from one another. There is no road such as better or worse, but the road which you choose will make something different, or it will have a difference between the two. So you can also choose the road or any road, and you can make something difference, and you can tell, as poet says throughout the poem also, ages and ages hence. So with this, let us stop here.